Hey everyone, this is Carl. Here with another story slash review, I guess. I have here the Texas Whopper from Burger King. And this is a burger I've had before. I'm not going to sit here and tell you how delicious it is or not. I happen to like it. It's not the best burger in the world. It's Burger King quality. But as far as Burger King goes, it's pretty good. As far as fast food goes, I could go for a Texas Whopper whenever. But this particular burger, brings back some memories for me. I remember the first time I saw the Texas Double Whopper. I'm just gonna show you what's on here. You have some pickles. We have jalapenos over here, tomatoes, mayo, mustard, 2 Whopper patties, bacon, and cheese. The first time I saw the Texas Whopper, I was actually in Texas. I had enlisted in the Air National Guard, and I was there for basic training. And we marched from our barracks down the road. I was in the 323rd Squadron, which was kind of out of the way. It was away from most of the other training squadrons, and it was close to one of the stores that had a Burger King in it. And I remember it must have been our 3rd or 4th day there. We were marched from the barracks to this store to buy, whatever we needed. We had a certain budget, so we could get like straps for our glasses and soap, things like that. And when we were done shopping, we were instructed to go outside and stand at attention facing the wall. And I happened to stand, at eye level with a picture of this giant Texas Whopper. I thought, when I get out of here, when I'm done with this, 6.5 weeks of training, I think they're up to 8 weeks now, but back then it was 6.5. And when I'm done with this training, I'm getting that Texas Whopper, and it looked so good. I was never a fan of Burger King. Not a terribly huge fan of fast food in general anyway, but man, that just made my mouth water. Those jalapenos and those 2 patties and the bacon and the cheese. It was a really, really strong desire that I had. And I ended up not making it out of basic training as an airman. I hurt my ankle, and it required surgery. And because it was part of a pre-existing injury, I had hurt my ankle a few years before. They just kicked me out of the Air Force and said, good luck, have a nice life. And I don't bring that up a lot. I don't tell this story, because people look at me and say, oh, he was in the military, he's a veteran, thanks for your service or whatever. And I don't like that attention. I don't think it's fair to the people who actually served. Anyone in the military would look at me and say, you didn't even make it through basic training, you weren't in the military. And that's true. I was legally on paper in the military, and I was 2 days away from being able to apply for veteran benefits by the time all my paperwork came through. But I wouldn't have, and I don't now consider myself to be a veteran. And I just like to forget that happened, I guess. But every time I go to a Burger King and I see this Texas Whopper, it reminds me of that time in my life when, I had tried to do something like that. And I, desperately wanted this Whopper. And I remember the day I left Lackland Air Force Base. It was a little bit chilly. It had been really hot. I was there at the end of August, going into September, and I was there for about 4 weeks. I made it a little over halfway through, and it was actually kind of a cold day. I thought it was going to rain, and I was sitting there in the processing building, waiting for them to get my plane ticket, and waiting for the bus to take me to the airport. And I had 20 minutes just to do whatever. They said, go walk around, do whatever you want. So I went to a store. They had a little convenience store right next to that administration building, and I got a Snickers ice cream bar. And for the first time in my life, I walked by a military training instructor without getting screamed at, and you're really uncomfortable. You get used to that lifestyle really quickly of saying yes sir, no sir, getting yelled at for looking at someone funny. And I walked in there and there was this training instructor saying, "Hey, what's up? How's it going?" Like I was just anybody. There wasn't a Burger King within walking distance, though. That particular Burger King where I had stared at this, that third or fourth day that I was there, and again a couple times we had gone to that store, and every time I ended up staring at this burger, saying, "I'm going to get that burger." But that particular Burger King was out of walking distance. There wasn't a Burger King in the airport, so I had kind of missed my chance. I went on vacation to Texas during spring break a few years later, and I was visiting my brother, and I kind of in the back of my mind wanted to go to Burger King and get this Texas Whopper. I didn't say anything. I was kind of stupid. I probably should have. It wouldn't have been a big deal for my brother to take me to Burger King to get this Whopper that was so important to me. So I left Texas without having had a Texas Whopper. And then eventually they released it. I don't know if it's nationwide or a regional thing, but they have Texas Whoppers right here in my hometown now. I would still like to eat a Texas Whopper in Texas. I think that would be really cool. That would be one of those just stupid bucket list things that doesn't even really matter, but it feels important to me that I have a Texas Whopper in Texas before I die. So yeah, here's my Texas Whopper. Can't eat it without that memory. I hope you enjoy it. It's just so big. Like, look at this. We got 2 Whopper patties on there, plus a salad, plus bacon, and jalapenos. It's just crazy, man. Such a good Whopper.